Y'all ready to talk about Jay Garrick? I don't know if y'all ready to talk about Jay Garrick and how underrated he is. Well, let's get started. But before I get started, I have to give a shout out to those that have donated to the channel. I mean, I just can't help it. And of course, Jay Garrick got his powers in a lab accident. He can move so fast he's literally invisible. That shouldn't be nothing new for Flash people. It was straight up stated that he can think and move at the speed of light. They even go as far as explaining it here. How does the Flash stop a bullet in flight without suffering injury to himself? Explanation: his process of thought and action due to his inhalation of the hard water gases have been so quickened that he has the speed of light itself. As a result, he can easily match the speed of a bullet. When two bodies travel along together at equal speed, even though they meet, there is absolutely no friction and therefore no injury. In this occasion, he can run really, really fast. Oh, what do you know? It says the speed of light. Oh, wait a minute. Is there another statement of stating that he can move at the speed of light? Out of the deck with the speed of light. Oh, wait a minute. Don't tell me he got another statement of him saying he can go the speed of light. His speed is greater than that of light. No way, bruh. I thought he's way slower than light just because he's slower than some of the other speedsters. It states here, he became imbued with the speed of light, the reflex of a bolt of lightning. Let me stop being repetitive, but wait a minute. It says the Flash moving with the speed of light? Oh, wait a minute. Another statement of him being able to move as rapid as light. Him to move with the rapidity of light. Nope, bad writing, even though it states it here yet again, moving with the speed of light. Oh, just murdering folk. Oh, by the way, during the post-crisis era, he can run thousands of times faster than sound. Ain't that the freaking truth? But of course, that ain't his limit. Right? All right, let me go to the post-crisis stuff. Okay, so Jay Garrick was able to run so fast, he was able to park the water, made a dry spot for Black Canary. Thanks a lot, Jay Garrick. That's awesome. I remember that one time he had a race with Barry, he ran 20 times the speed of sound that day. That awkward moment when he literally ran to the edge of the Speed Force, raw speed. Jay was able to set off a sonic bomb and literally outran the sound waves. They state that his so-called limits is running past light speed or he'd be sucked into the Speed Force, but yet I just showed you a panel where it stated he can run faster than light, but he didn't get sucked into the Speed Force then. Retcons, or is just bad writing? Because they say the same thing about Barry and Wally. Does that really mean his limit is only light speed? Is light speed just a pun? Or likely, you know what I'm saying? If you read enough comics with Flash and see them going faster than light, you would know that at this point they have to be way faster than light for it to make any sense without being sucked into the Speed Force. That means literally every character that's not a Speed Force user is faster than them, because a lot of characters, even like Green Lantern, can go quadrillions of times faster than light. You know what I'm saying? Even my Green Lantern video has proof of that, right? Wally West video has proof of that, right? I mean, Jay is one of those people, him and Wally can literally have a conversation in a few nanoseconds. You know what I mean? The combat speed is up there, suggesting so as well. Another occasion of them communicating in nanoseconds. Jay, Bart, and Wally. I honestly think when they state approaching the speed of light, it's almost like a pun, because there's so many characters in DC that's so many times faster than light. Call them just the speed of light when characters that aren't speedsters are way faster than light, like Wonder Woman, for example. It's kind of like insulting, you know what I mean? You know what also doesn't make sense either is the fact that he's able to like cause harm to Superman tier characters like Black Adam, for example. And it's kind of like more than just a scuffle, you know what I mean? Like, Black Adam is another being that's massively faster than light, and for him to be able to do this, it kind of implies it as well. Caving in the ground, making shockwaves with the punches, stuff like that. It states here, they move like the lightning bolts that fast enough to make people seem like statues around them. I mean, look at the clock here. Barry and Jay have like a heartfelt conversation, like a full-blown conversation. It's 3:05 a.m. right here. Have a full-blown conversation, and it's heartfelt, might I add. Yep. All of that happened, and look at the clock, 3:06. Yeah, all of that happened that quick. I mean, more occasion of Jay Garrick's raw power, just for him to be able to produce enough velocity to even harm characters like Black Adam. Straight on full-blown fight with Black Adam, he was able to catch the shards that was going to hit people from a thunderclap from Black Adam. You know, he's doing all of this while fighting Black Adam, while during the Blitz. Of course, he has a connection to the Speed Force, but in this particular occasion, this states here, the Speed Force may be gone forever, but I'm a meta-human. I'm still the fastest man alive. Implying that he doesn't necessarily need the Speed Force to actually be alive for him to have Speed Force powers. You know what I mean? Even if his connection is severed, he still would technically be a meta-human. Do I even need to say that he can catch up to a car and he can literally swat away bullets? I don't even have to show you that, right? Or the fact he can like literally catch a bullet mid-flight. Jay is almost centuries years old, but he only looks like he's about like what, 55 or 60 years old, you know what I mean? It kind of slows the aging process, kind of convenient. His connection to the Speed Force allows him to see when people are unrested, stuff like that. There was that one time he escaped out of the Speed Force, but he couldn't pinpoint exactly where in time he needed to be, so he ended up in the past. Like, And this occasion right here, I love this time travel stuff. Not to mention it stated here, I use Black Adam's energy signature as a tether, just like Terrific suggested. Jay Garrick is also one of those Speed Force people that has this ridiculous hacks that I'm surprised not more speedsters abuse. What hacks am I talking about? I'm talking about his stealing speed hacks. That's freaking not even fair. You would think without limits, how do they even get defeated? Jay Garrick capable of this as well. It still does make me wonder, why don't they spam this more? I mean, there was this time he beat the rival by absorbing his speed. It's like he can steal your speed and add it to his own, kind of like what other speedsters can do, like a hacks. Rival is no slowpoke when it comes to the speedster department. I wouldn't consider her a top tier like Wally West or Barry Allen or nothing, but he can run through cars, things like that, cause major damage. Things like that. Do they seriously want me to believe that Black Adam is under the speed of light? I mean, if they're racing, you're telling me if his top speed is light speed, Black Adam's speed is under that? Dude, there's no way he can be that much slower than Superman or Shazam in raw speed based on their feeds. I mean, yes, sure, Jay Garrick did absorb his speed to be able to go light speed, but they both should be light speed without that. You know what I mean? I always take these things with a grain of salt, but this can give you a little idea of Shazam tier character speed in comparison to other people's, even if this isn't the most accurate ever, because this is a different continuity, evidently, technically, from this version of Jay Garrick, but just work with me here. Shazam is like number 9 out of the people on this list. That's still pretty freaking fast considering that Superman and stuff and another speedster's behind him, right? Shouldn't that still automatically make him massively faster than light by default, just from a Shazam character, aka being equal to Black Adam in his raw speed and strength? Shouldn't that automatically make Jay Garrick massively faster than light? Especially if they raced. But yeah, Jay did take his speed. Like a hacksy way, right? Stop cheating. On to the subject of the speed, let's look at the fight a little bit more in detail. You know, see the attack power right there, blood being drawn, raw speed for Garrick. Yeah, you see the straight on blitz? It's kind of epic, but he's kind of fighting multiple at the same time though. I mean, when you look at that race in detail, it's stated that Black Adam struggles to keep pace with Garrick. It states here, Black Adam's strength began to flag, 186,000 miles per second, speed of light. Another raw speed occasion of him and Adam going at it. I love this little Justice Society era stuff. I'm excited for that new movie coming out. Yes, this movie I'm excited for. Jay Garrick is going to be in that as well. He did end up stealing his speed in this occasion as well though. That should be indeed noted. And yes, his hacks does extend to Kryptonians that time he absorbed Superman's speed. Stop cheating, Jay Garrick. It's funny how I say they cheating because even he says it feel like he's cheating. I hate to do this, feel like I'm cheating. It's something Wally's been trying to teach me. Say goodbye to your speed. I'm stealing your momentum. Compounding your kinetic energy with mine gives me a boost. Haxy. It's about time, old man, absorbing the Kryptonian speed. This is such a haxy thing speedsters can do. You want to know a pain tolerance feat? You know how speedsters have like this aura that it protects them against friction? So tell me why he got his aura taken away so he actually felt the full force of the friction and was getting burned up and everything and survived it. That's pretty insane. Thank you a lot, Reverse Flash, you butthole. I mean, remember this scan I showed you earlier? He was kind of skipping across the Atlantic, you know, when he left the Speed Force and stuff. Fell down, stuff like that. Moving faster than the eye can see really comes in handy, in this case in helping the other Flashes. They're able to move at a certain speed to the point where you can't tell he's even butt naked, so he can appear decent. Isn't that crazy? I mean, he was even able to vibrate it at a frequency to help him resist hypnosis, mind control type stuff, resistance, that type of stuff. Don't want to sound like a broken record, but think about it like this. How would it make sense for him to be under the speed of light if he's supposed to be the fastest man alive? When you got characters like Alan Scott who are indeed alive, who are definitely massively faster than light. My Alan Scott video proves that as well. I mean, if Jay Garrick is supposed to be the fastest man alive, shouldn't he be faster than all the other Justice Society members like Alan Scott, who can literally enter hyperspace, aka planet hop or galaxy or solar system hop, massively faster than light speeds, right? The same guy that travels from the Earth to the moon in a very short amount of time. And it's even shown that Jay Garrick is ahead of him when they're running. You know, stuff like that. I know it's casual, but still.
Petty criminals should at your plight, yes.
If I was a betting man, I would actually give Jay Garrick the speed advantage over characters like Wonder Woman, who has like speedster-like speed, and she has like quintillions of times faster than light speed feats, right? Wouldn't you say she has comparable combat speed to characters like Black Adam, right? Don't you think that's fair? And he can like cause damage to somebody as durable as Black Adam, who is a confirmed Superman tier being. I'm not saying that Jay Garrick is exactly equal to Barry or Wally, but he might be quite a bit behind, but he isn't that far behind like you're probably thinking, right? I mean, he's all like in all their encounters, he's easily able to hold his ground when he's trying to keep pace with these beings in multiple different comic books. I mean, for Pete's sake, probably one of his best battle feats of all time was fighting Zoom on his lonesome, like literally by himself. know, Jay Garrick does exist in the New 52 era. It was stated in the New 52 that he has the speed of a god. Yes, an interesting design he has. Is it really a surprise he can run up walls? This is fun. It's implied he can run thousands of mocks, like Mach 1000 at least, particular panels. This is within minutes of him getting his power, just in case you're curious. And let's not forget about that time he dodged the Omega Beams. These are my favorite type of battles, when a small character blitzes around a big foe and fights him, blitz style. Fights this great beast. His suit is literally powered by his subconscious. Take that, physics. More speed blitzing ground troopers. It's so funny seeing them young like this in a different continuity. The things they do with retcons. Super speed, a whole bunch of debris. This dude Jay trapped a whole bunch of Apoco rats. Got Apoco rats, you know, this state's right there. He trapped them with a trash can, speed style blitzing. Don't you love that? And he can knock down Solomon Grundy. Continue. He even does this to the Atom Smasher. Kick blitz style. Don't you love the blur effect? Like the agility, acrobats, dodging, Atom Smasher, stuff like that. Look at the acrobats. World Army soldiers, y'all ain't touching me. Blitzes them. You gotta respect Jay Garrick. In like the classic comics, he even got in a straight up slugfest. Kind of gets you a test of his skills, but it kind of shows the power level he's on as well. The two Flashes were actually fighting each other. Garrick was not a fleet in comparison. They even go as far as stating, Jay Garrick, that he's thinking to himself, I can move just as fast as he can. Let's see how he likes being a target for those. And it doesn't really seem much contradicting it. I mean, they actually took the time to draw all these panels. I'm pretty sure he's not like a snail in speed in comparison to the other Flashes based on this occasion, overall skill, and etc. I mean, he is a speedster. And for those that are curious, Jay Garrick does have the Hermes helmet on. Eobard Thawne is sadistic, so he made himself look like Flash. Yeah, he's crazy like that. He's obsessed with him. Probably one of the better showings show that he does belong with those other black hole level beings. Even if you want to be hard-headed and say he's a low-tier speedster, he fought on par with Eobard Thawne. In this particular occasion, you gotta respect the slugfesting, right? It's actually pretty epic when you think about it. It states here, you blinked, and a lot can happen in a blink, all them punches. Looks like he's done, but it says, nope, I'm still fighting. It's not an easy fight. It takes a lot for him to like put him down. He did get overpowered, but he hung in there for quite a bit. I feel like you shouldn't underestimate Jay at this point. I mean, I don't even have to remind you what Eobard Thawne has done before. Well, not necessarily Eobard Thawne, but other speedster-like characters that should be in that same range, right? Wonder Woman has fought Superman. She's in that Superman to herself. She states here, I've been hit or I've been punched by Superman. This hurts more. Being punched at the speed of light does that. Even if these speedsters have the advantage over each other in raw power or speed, they should all be in the black hole ranges, right? Jay Garrick should fall in that category as well based on the battle feed, right? Jay Garrick is also good at chemistry. When it comes to raw skills, Jay Garrick has some skills. I mean, him along with the other Flash family members was able to fight off speed enhanced assassins, and they're using swords and stuff like that. Yeah, as you can see, this is kind of cool seeing them fight like this. Movie quality. Savitar fighting even more down the staircase. It's a mob of them too, and they're putting in that work. Look at this. Fighting them all. Garrick putting in that work, holding his ground, using his helmet as a weapon like a boomerang. Skills catches it back. Epic. The Flash family just fighting a mob of them. Jay Garrick was a part of it. I mean, he's holding his ground with these other godlike speedsters. I don't think he's that slow, guys. I would definitely say he's an expert combatant in this comic book with Batman, for example. Using super speed, you know, doing stuff. Detective work stuff. Running on the water while Batman got his vehicle. There was this like 3 samuroids, like samurai androids. Yeah, I know. Fought 3 of them. Trying to get off the lawn. It's implied that he can use swords a little bit. Slices them up here and there. He even states here, don't fence with a man who's dueled with Sportsmaster boys. So yeah, he does have combat training with swords. Sword ability makes sense. Having his speed with swords ability is kind of dangerous. Stabs in the mouth. Duel. Of course, he's faster. He's adapting to his adversary. Twirls him. You got to respect all of that speed. Jay Garrick, right? Faster than you thought, right? Jay Garrick, along with the other Flash members, they were stuck in this little bind right here. They literally sped up so fast to where they turned invisible, tricking the people to getting them out. It states here. So you weren't speeding up to get out of the cuffs. You were speeding up to become invisible, so you think we got out of the cuffs. He's always keeping up with the top dogs. I'm just saying, Jay Garrick can't be that far behind. Just another fun occasion, Jay Garrick using his speed to dig a big old pit really fast, because they can just do that. To prove that he is not that far behind other speedsters, Jay Garrick yet again proves what he can do. It states here, since we got free of the manacles, we most likely been operating in what we call stop time. It's like everything else is frozen, everybody else is a statue, but they can still operate and stuff. This allows him to do a lot of planning in a very short amount of times without risking people dying in the process, right? It states here, we map out our plans, action strategies in nanoseconds. This also implies they're way faster than light, just casually, if he can just keep up with this stuff, doing all of this stuff happening. He's able to play his part in hand regardless of people think about him. One time for the one time, things can get confusing, but you know, the Justice Society was before the Justice League, right? So during his time, he's supposedly the fastest man alive. And as you can see right here, characters like Alan Scott, you know, thanks to DC always retconning, he was originally on Earth 2, ended up becoming on the real Earth, a part of their timeline, thanks to Dr. Manhattan, that it was always there to begin with. Kind of weird. I mean, what does Jay have to do to get his respect? In the Rebirth era, he seems to be able to hold his ground still, being a helpful aid when he's needed. Here you have another occasion of Jay saving the day and like more recent-ish type of stuff, Speed Force ability, running alongside characters like Barry, showing that he is a helpful asset in the Speed Force department. Don't you just love how they cruising on the water? I personally love when speedsters just like to have fun with their ability. Jay Garrick, for example, saving folks from bad guys, things like that, destroying fighters in the process. I love how he legit uses his hat like a boomerang, pops back, hits the people, blitzes them back, through the tanks, stuff like that, just keeps on going. Then he catches it on the other side. Just epic stuff. So not only was it stated or narrated back in the day that he was at least the speed of light, but how about in recent stuff, it stated swifter than the speed of light itself. Jay Garrick moves. Saying there's just too much evidence of this. Let me tell you something else epic about Jay Garrick. Batman and Barry were like in a little pickle. It's implied he has timeline manipulation. He was able to move them out of hypertime. Hypertime is basically an interconnected flow of realities where time diverged at a certain point from the main universe. It was a helpful aid in time travel stuff, raw speed. More implication of Jay Garrick being up to par during Death Metal. He ran us alongside Wally and all the other godlike speedsters and was able to hold his ground. It wasn't a slouching comparison, even though there was a moment where he was slouching behind and needed some help when he was getting chased, stuff like that. These things were fast, so don't blame him for that. But he wasn't that far behind, you know what I mean? They helped him. Like, I think they make panels like this on purpose with Wally being in front on purpose, you know what I mean? Like showing that he is indeed last, you know what I mean? This would probably be the most accurate scale, I would say, on how his speed works. He even states these old bones aren't going to make it, saying he's sluggish because of his old bones, I guess. But don't get it twisted. With his raw speedster ability, he still has fighting ability because he was trained by Ted Grant, aka Wildcat. You know who Wildcat is. This Wildcat, one of the best fighters in DC, right? Eobard Thawne is currently in Barry's body. Jay Garrick gets in a scuffle with Thawne in the more recent stuff, showing that Jay Garrick isn't a flea in comparison. Might not be a complete match, but he still isn't that far behind. Right here, blocking attacks from him, still react to him, things like that. You know what I'm saying? This is like a really short scuffle though. He has to be able to hold his ground. I would also add that the Flash family, including Jay, had went up against the Legion of Zoom, not the Legion of Doom, the Legion of Zoom. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. This dude recruited all the people. Grodd over there, you know, the Goon Squad, Captain Cold, just everybody. So you guessed it, they fought the Legion of Zoom. Jay Garrick's able to hold his weight still. Heck, this dude even does a ricochet here. I love when he does this with the doggone helmet. He states, I've been in fights like this before, Jesse, but never this big with this power level. All the different species doing their work, different beings that are up there. He states the golden age is over. Jay hits him multiple times. Jay Garrick during Death Metal had to combine their speed with Wally and Barry to the point where they had to outrun the Batman Who Laughs and stuff like that. Combining their powers in the process, it states here, we need to combine our powers everyone fast as you can. You know, he's able to hold his weight. You know what I'm saying? During this Dark Knight Metal event, Jay Garrick was there too, facing off all different types of foes. Looks like he's striking here. With all of this stuff being said, I definitely think Jay Garrick can strike with enough velocity to produce planet-shattering levels of force, or even one could say black hole levels of force. I mean, it's just too much evidence. Even though it is implied to be at a much lesser degree, he is a speedster in DC, and he should be able to do some of the techniques that other speedsters can do. This is kind of evident on why he can even harm Superman tier beings. For him to even be able to harm Superman tier beings at all, he would have to be in them black hole ranges. This could imply that he could have the ability to make his fist hit like a white dwarf star, similar to how characters like Wally West, who is faster than him obviously, could do punching people with that much speed, right? Also, don't forget what other speedster type characters have done in the past against Wonder Woman or Superman tier beings. Like this famous panel in the past where it was stated by Wonder Woman that a speedster type character punch hurts more than Superman, and she stated, I've been punched by Superman, this hurts more. Being punched at light speed would do that. Jay Garrick being light speed, meaning that he can punch at light speed, should be able to do this as well, right? It's just too much evidence it is, right? Jay Garrick should be faster than characters like Alan Scott because he's the fastest man alive in the universe. Alan Scott exists in that universe. This is the part where it gets a little bit confusing. How can he be the fastest man alive if he exists in the same universe with Wally and Barry? Well, during his time period, AKA back in the day, the 40s, before Wally and Barry got their powers, he was the fastest man alive. But Alan Scott and characters like that still existed, so that would still make him massively faster than light regardless. During the time Barry Allen and Wally West do get their powers, he's slower than them, but for that time period, he was the fastest man alive. I hope that makes sense. And if you want to get an idea of how fast other people that are not speedsters in DC, check out my other DC videos I have on the channel, analyzing their strength, speed, and etc. I mean, even a low-tier speedster should definitely be quintillions of times faster than light, just because of casual non-speedsters in DC being that many times the speed of light, and they're literally slower than a lot of speedsters, right? If I was to put it on a fair scale on how he goes, or how he compares to the other speedsters, I would say it's like this. Fairly in any continuity or average on how their powers rank when it comes to raw speed, I would say Wally is probably at the top of the food chain, while Barry is right next to him at 95, and Jay Garrick, lowballing the snot out of him, he has to be at least a, 75 out of 100 versus these guys. They are above him, but he's not that far behind, but it's a decent gap. You know what I mean? This is just random numbers, me spitballing here. These are not going to be exact, obviously, because I'm not the writers of DC. I don't know where they want them at. They do make it seem evident that they want him to be at a certain level, right? So Wally West being 100 and Jay Garrick being a 75, if Wally West is a black hole level being a Superman tier being, then Jay Garrick would be 75% of a Superman tier being, or something of that sort. Like, he's in that range, you know, power. He's able to harm characters like Black Adam consistently. He should be way faster than light, because in his universe, he should be the fastest man alive, meaning he should be faster than characters like Alan Scott. But what do you guys think? Do you have respect for Jay Garrick's speed? Do you think people don't give him enough credit? I think he has to be at a certain level. I would definitely put him in those The Thing levels or Colossus levels when it comes to how much he's underrated, right, in DC, right? I would say, because, you know, in Marvel, people underrate Colossus, they underrate The Thing. I would say Jay Garrick falls in that category when it comes to DC speedsters. There's people that actually don't believe he's at least the speed of light, which that's literally the equivalent of saying Wonder Woman is quintillions of times faster. Do you honestly think Wonder Woman is quintillions of times faster than a speedster? Even though he's always in stories with flashes like Barry and Wally and able to hold his ground even if he's slightly behind? You know what I mean? You see how that doesn't make much sense? Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Respect, Jay Garrick. I apologize if this was too many different continuities for you, but they try to make it seem like Jay Garrick's continuity still has the same history from pre-crisis and stuff. So work with me here. Stuff like that.